Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV here once again with Nonito Donaire. Nonito, we just saw Regis Prograis, the Rougarou, KO Jose Zepeda in the 11th round of their bout tonight. The WBC 140-pound title on its way back to New Orleans with the Rougarou. What did you think about the bout?
Man, the fight was amazing as it is, back and forth, two amazing champions, one thing that really paid off was the jab and the head movement that allowed him to pressure him and allowed him to take a lot of his energy from Chon, and then that last overhand that really hurt Zepeda, and then Regis just jumped on him, and then there was parts there that Chon got his Zepeda got his arm stuck in there that wasn't able to get down on his knees and was accumulated with more punishment, but what that overhand I thought was a tremendous punch that just really turned the fight around. That overhand left that caught Zepeda that really stunned him. From all the fights that was just like boom. I mean, even when you saw him get knocked down, he got back up, but he never got hit like that where he froze. And I think that really hurt him, and that's why that set up for that big knockout.
When you get hit like that, evidently it seems like uncharted territory when a fighter gets hit like that when he never has before. What is that moment like when you get hit and you felt pain that you never felt, or you get stunned?
I mean, you don't really feel any pain. It's just a restart button, and then you go back into your habits. For me was to fight. When I got hit, I didn't know what the hell where I was at, but all I wanted to do was I want to hit this dude. I just want to hit this dude, And for him, he was hurt enough where he just stood still because that's what he's hard. He's never gonna go down. He didn't want to go down. Like that was the same thing with me. I got to drop and get back up. I got to drop and get back up. I got to drop and get back up. For him, it's like I'm not gonna go down. I'm not gonna go down. I'm just keep it here. And that's what happened was he took more accumulated punishment is because he stood up. But because sometimes it's a detriment to a fighter when he has too big of a balls where he doesn't want to go down. But the way he got hit was that was a very damaging punch, and a lot of people wouldn't be able to respond to that.
Did the KO seem like it kind of came out of nowhere? It looked like we were almost headed to a decision on what was a difficult fight. How surprised were you to kind of see things unfold in the 11th so quickly like they did?
It's funny because when you asked me earlier if this fight was going to go to the distance, I said no. Someone's going to get knocked out, right?
You did.
But I forgot to say that the last two rounds, their dog was going to come out. That's what I felt, that they were just going to go out there and fight and dog it out and fight it all out. I thought that if I thought it was going to be a good, close fight, and I thought that the fight can be turned at any moment, but I thought that the last two rounds they were just going to give it all, and that's what we got. I wasn't surprised of the knockout because, I mean, the setup that Regis had done throughout the whole fight with the jab and the head movement, and how many times he had caught him with a straight, that hurt him, and vice versa. But that perfect timing that he threw that overhand left really hurt Zepeda, and I know it could happen to anybody, to either one of them, and they would just jump on the opponent, But I wasn't surprised because I know that's what we were talking with all my friends. I thought that the last two rounds they were just going to give it all.
What did you think about the atmosphere tonight? I mean,
it was a lot of Zepeda people, man.
It's an atmosphere that is one that you don't usually get to see in boxing. It's so small, it's so intimate. We had this small ring. Let me ask you, because you're a guy that knows, when you're up in the ring and this arena is going crazy like that, what's going through your senses, or
you don't
do you
really
block
hear
it all
nothing,
out?
man. I mean, if you saw them fight, their mouth was smoking, their skin was smoking because it was cold. They were steaming all over the place, right? But you don't feel any of that. You don't hear any of that. Sometimes the prominent voices, like my wife when she's screaming, or my teammate when they yelling, you can hear that. But most of the time, when you just laser focus on hitting this dude in front of you, setting him up, and getting that victory. That's all you really go into your head. There's nothing else. You don't look around and hear anything. I mean, you can hear them, but they're just like just noises.
Going forward here, We'll start with Jose Zepeda. What do you think is next for Chon after taking his first loss in the fashion that he did tonight?
I think that he should just step back for a little bit, get some rest, and then get back strong. Sometimes a fighter wants to get back into it, which is why we see fighters fall. Champions fall is because their pride is too big. I think he should just step back. And I told him, I went to say what's up to him because I said, I got the biggest respect for you. You're an amazing fighter. And I told him, you know what? In every setback, embrace it instead of fight it. Because if you embrace your setback, you learn from it. And then you know that you accept the fact that it is. Because some people can't accept that they lost in that way, But when you learn to accept that, you learn to dissect what you need to learn from it. And that's what makes you better. That's what makes me better. And that's what I told him in the locker room because Regis is a good friend of mine, and I just, I went to say what's up to him. At the same time, after that, I said what's up to Zepeda because, you got to give due respect to somebody who deserves it, man.
Definitely. What goes into the mindset, because you said something that's pretty poignant here that I wanted to piggyback off of, Nonito. You said that it's about acceptance. It's about basically living in the reality that you did fall short and that you did lose. What goes into the acceptance of your first defeat and rebuilding from that?
Right. For me, I've been through it. The last fight was one of them. This is what it is. Time, what you said and what I did now is already past. I can't take it back. Right? What happened? You can't take it back. Just know that you're safe, you're healthy. You can get back into it if you want it. If that's what you want. But some people have the biggest pride that they don't accept it. And so they deny it. And they just drown themselves in a cycle of negativity. But when you accept the fact that, hey, it happened, okay, how can I get better? What did I do? What did I do wrong? What can I do to make myself not in the same position, or something like that? But accepting the fact that happened is a move to being fulfilled. You don't have to worry about it. Sometimes you're like, fuck this, you're cussing all over, you feel embarrassed. There's nothing to be embarrassed. You fought well. You gave your all. No one's even wanting to go there. And the guy that beat you even told you that was his toughest fight. So you gotta say, what happened, happened. Accept the fact that it happened. Now go into a point where, okay, what did I do good and what can I improve? What did I do bad that I want to improve on? Because you can't take time. Time is an illusion that just passes you. It's something that allows us to grow because we can look back into it to better ourselves. And this is what I am as a fighter. That's why I lose and I get back in there like crazy. And nothing really stopped me because my mentality is too strong.
Definitely. What would you like to see from Regis Prograis going forward, now that he's the 140-pound WBC champion? What do you think is the best move for him? He mentioned that he wanted to fight against Josh Taylor again.
Regis is like me. He'll fight everybody. And the first thing that he has on his list is the guy that beat him. You gotta give that respect to him, because he wants that smoke. He wants that smoke. He wants that fight. He wants that thing to happen. That's what he want to do. And a lot of fighters don't even really think about that. For him, he has a target. But of course it's up to Richard to make it happen because he's done an amazing job with me. He's done an amazing job with all the fighters. But ultimately, it's him being grateful because that's what made him better today. He was just grateful for being there. You can see how much fun he was going in there, moving his head. I've never seen Regis like that. Usually he's focused, he's this, but he looked like it was fun. He was having fun in there.
Definitely. Well, once again, Marcus Hayes, Fight Hub TV, here with Mr. Nonito Donaire. Nonito, thank you for your reaction.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing things from you in the future.